Kathy and I are walking around here in the Painted Desert, which is part of the Petrified Forest National Park here in Arizona. It's a beautiful place to be. Nice calm morning here to collect your thoughts, feel the presence of God, and think about how to experience more of God's healing power at work in your life. One thought that's been going through my mind is the importance of thinking for yourself. And I don't mean in an egotistical, I'm right kind of way, but from the basis that the one divine mind that we all reflect thinks for itself. In this age, it seems like there's a lot of people who want to do our thinking for us. If you've ever been in a situation where you're trying to make an important decision in your life and you have people around you telling you what you ought to do, this is what you should do. I think you should do this. And you might find it hard to be thinking for yourself, just going to God, listening for God's guidance, and making a decision based upon your own spiritual inspiration. Well, whenever I find myself in those kind of situations where other people are trying to tell me what to do and how I ought to live my life and how I ought to conduct my health care choices and so on, I just back up from that for a moment and remember that I reflect the mind of God, which thinks for itself. And divine mind does think for itself. It makes its own decisions based upon its own conclusions and its own facts. The mind of God thinks for itself, and you reflect that ability, the ability to think for yourself. This mind of God is not swayed by popular opinion. It's not swayed by the craze of the moment. It's not swayed by what your best friend thinks. It's not swayed even by your very closest family members and what they think you ought to do. This one mind thinks for itself. It thinks according to truth, according to what is true with God in this universe of spirit that we live in. As a reflection of this mind of God that thinks for itself, you can go to the truth of God and decide, now what's right with God? What would God have me do here? And then make decisions accordingly. You won't find yourself compromising your values so much. You'll be living true to your values, living true to your spiritual ideals, and there will be very good results from that. So, if you ever feel caught in the middle of what everybody else around you thinks you ought to do, just back up from that and remember that you reflect the mind of God that thinks for itself, which gives you the ability to think for yourself too, according to what God is leading you.